Well, hi, hello, and welcome to another vlog. It's time for an update for Kings Island because Kings Island has recently updated their schedule for the rest of the year, which includes some bad news for Halloween and Christmas fans at Kings Island. That news is, of course, that they have decided to not have Halloween Haunt this year on weekends or Winterfest, which means there will be less operating days for that matter. Their last operating day for this year is November 1st. And they won't be open on Fridays during Halloween Haunt like they have been in the past few years, as well as being open till midnight or later on Saturdays for that matter. This is, of course, some depressing news if you're a huge Halloween Haunt guy. I mean, a lot of people really like going through haunts. I'm not necessarily big on that. I've gone to Halloween Haunt last year, but it was more just to ride rides. And in last year's case, it was to basically say goodbye to the Vortex. I did enjoy going to Winterfest as I'm a big Christmas guy, and Winterfest it almost feels like it has a Disney-esque quality, and I love me some Disney parks. So it's depressing to hear that they won't be having Winterfest, not to mention that's just something to do in November and December. But this is all related to COVID-19 and social distancing. I know Kings Island's not getting the attendance they were hoping for. Cedar Fair just announced a quarter of the results, and it was basically a bloodbath. I know that Cedar Point's also canceled Halloween Haunt this year. They are doing a weekend like trick and treats thing during last weekend of September and the whole month of October on up to November 1st, but they'll be closing at 8 p.m. each of those days. I'm sure I'll be going up there on some of them. I'm sure at some point I'll have a video of that. Even though I believe Kate and I have some obligations that first weekend, which are inescapable for us. We'll have to be going to that. So we won't be able to go that first weekend. And I know that Cedar Fair, the parent company of Kings Island, also said that several other their theme parks won't be opening up at all this year. So I guess we should count our blessings. Since I know like King's Dominion, they've said, and Carowinds won't be opening up at all, and Canada's Wonderland, which is up in Canada, of course, near Toronto, and Knott's Berry Farm they've said they're just pretty much in a holding pattern to see when and if they'll be able to open. And again, coming back to it not being a surprise, I know from when I've been there, it hasn't been superly busy. But hopefully it's been busy enough they're still making a profit. I know that Universal Studios has just recently canceled their Halloween Horror Nights, which was a big deal down in Orlando typically. And Disney's also canceled their Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party at Disney World. So I think the writing was on the wall for a while of Halloween Haunt being canceled. Doesn't mean it's not disappointing, but I think that's just more par for the course for 2020. And hopefully that 2021, everything will be back to normal, and they will have a Halloween Haunt next year and a Winterfest, and they'll have a good year, because I know the tourism and theme park industry in general have been hurting this year. Like, if you pay attention to financials, I know like Comcast, which is a parent company of Universal Studios, had a 95% loss of revenue this most recent quarter compared to the previous one for theme park revenue, since they've been closed for the most part and at reduced capacity. Disney took quite a hit as well, although not as bad as people were expecting, which is why, strangely enough, today Disney's stock is up like $6 or $7 per share a day after they just said they had probably the worst quarter in history. But that's the stock market for you, but it's also, like I was saying, it wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. And Disney World, they've also said that Disney World, they're actually, since they've opened up, even though it's basically a ghost town, they've been making enough money to cover the costs and a little bit more after that, which is good long term, I think, because that means they're not going to be closing down again, hopefully. And since I know, depending on how COVID goes, Kate and I have talked about maybe going down there later this year, but that also depends on how COVID-19 is going down and forward, because that's a hot spot right now, and if that's still a hot spot a few months from now, we won't be doing that. But if it dies down significantly by November, we may go down there for a few days. But again, this is just disappointing, but more par for the course, and I get why they're doing that. It's also, I think, with how fluid the whole situation has been, I mean, like, who knows that 2 months from now, Ohio won't be a hot spot for COVID. And I think it takes a lot of time, effort, and money for them to get Halloween Haunt as well as Winterfest ready. So I completely get why they don't want to pour a lot of money and time and effort into something only to find out right before they open up they're going to have to cancel it, because none of us really have any clue what the fall is going to be looking like as far as COVID-19. I mean, hopefully they'll still be able to have those weekends in September. Hopefully there will be an NFL season this year, because I'm ready to watch the Bengals. Hopefully that if Katie and I do decide to go off to Florida, we will be able to this year, but we shall see. Anyways, as always, if you like this video, give us a big thumbs up. Let me know in the comments what you think about Teens Online canceling Halloween Haunt. And as always, feel free to hit the subscribe button.